And we're on. Hi, parents. How are you? I am here once again to teach treasured DBT skills from a parent's perspective. Uh, Today, I'm going to be reading out of what I think is one of the greatest manuals of all time. This is the DBT Skills Training Manual, written by Marsha Linehan, the founder of DBT. So today, I'm basically reading from page 192, where we talk about participate as the final of the what skills. So I'll do some reading, I'll do some explaining, and then hopefully you all can do some participating. Okay? Participate. Now, as you remember, in the what skill, we have the mindfulness module, we have the what skill, and of the what skill, we have observe. There's a video for that. We have describe. There's a video for that. And then we have participate. And participate is the third of the three skills under the what skill. So let's talk about it. Participate. What is it? Participating is entering wholly with awareness into life itself, non-judgmentally, in the present moment. Participate is the ultimate goal of mindfulness. So this is something that we want to do, okay? This is the goal. We're observing, we're describing, and the goal is that throughout our life, we're day by day, moment by moment, we're able to be right there, and we're able to live life as it is. Why participate? The experience of flow is associated with participating. The state of flow is widely considered an optimal experience. So flow is considered, optimal. Flow is when you are challenged and you are accomplishing things, but it's not so difficult that you're overwhelmed, and it feels like when you're flow. People also describe it as like in the zone. Yeah, so there it is. The state of flow is widely considered an optimal experience, incompatible with boredom. So if we're bored, not participating. And associated with intense enjoyment and a sense of control. Just a sense, not total control. It is a critical characteristic of peak experiences. An example, being fully immersed in an activity like running or like skiing or surfing. These would be participating. Participating is incompatible with self-consciousness. When we become what we are doing, there is a merging of actions and awareness so that we are no longer aware of ourselves as separate from what we're doing. Okay, so according to Linehan, which is, again, what I'm reading from, when we're doing an activity, we're completely in it, and we are that activity right at that moment. We're not thinking about ourselves doing the activity while we're doing it. This happens a lot with bowling. You go bowling and you're like, sometimes we are bowling and we're like, okay, I'm gonna bowl, and then and you can feel it as you're moving towards, when you get a strike, you just like see the pins, you hold the ball, you run up, boom, you go, strike, full participation. Or we can have the bowling ball and we can be like, oh God, why is this happening? I don't want to do this. Oh, this is awful. Oh, it's going to be awful. Oh, look at it. Oh, gutter ball. Oh, and we're not participating. Participating is incompatible with a sense of exclusion. When we become what we are doing, we are no longer aware of ourselves as separate from what we are doing, from the environment. We lose awareness of the separation of ourselves and everything else. We forget ourselves, and thus forget ourselves as outside or inside. In participating, effort seems effortless. So when we're truly participating, we are able to do whatever the thing is that we're doing, and we don't feel like we're really expending a lot of energy. We feel like, if you think about an activity that you really love doing, you're just doing it, and it feels like time just flies by because you're completely in the zone. Sadly, so this might pain some parents to hear, even though it can be kind of true. So adolescents playing video games can very much be an example of participating. Some people, some adolescents get really into video games, and when they're playing that video game, that's all they're doing. They're completely in. So they're having a peak experience, and this makes sense to why adolescents just keep coming back to video games, because it's something that they feel like they can truly be in. In participating, we are present to our own lives and the lives of loved ones. When we become what we are doing, we do not miss our own lives. We also do not miss being a part of other lives. Compassion and love towards ourselves or others requires our presence. So very often the parent who's not present, they're the ones that have the hard time connecting. Because if we're not grounded in what's happening right at the moment, how can we be grounded? How can we be connected with the people that we're with? This is why sometimes people go on vacations and it can be an amazing vacation and they're just having a miserable time. And the reason why they're having a miserable time is because they're not there. They might physically be at the location, but they're not there. Participating is a fundamental characteristic of skillful behavior. It's a characteristic of a skillful parent. A skillful parent is a parent that participates. To be experts at any task, we must practice and overlearn the task. Expertise in any activity requires mindfulness, awareness of the task without the distractions of thinking about ourselves. A person who thinks about running while running loses the race. In great acting, an actor becomes the role. A great dancer becomes the dance. This is true. Okay, so when we think about what to do, like, Matt, how do I be a parent that participates a little bit more? Well, very often parents spend a little too much time thinking about what's going to happen or what has happened, and they don't engage their children with a current activity. If we engage in present activities with our children, we tend to connect with them more. So that's what I would recommend as a parent. See what your kids are doing and engage in them and try to understand it. Linehan goes on to talk about sometimes we have to choose whether to observe, whether to describe, or to participate. I at times can be guilty of over-participating. This is when we are participating so much that we're annoying people. I've been known to do that at times. Yeah. But you can also under-participate. This is when you're on the sidelines just watching and not doing anything. You can also be over-observing, just being quiet, just being there and not engaging anybody. And you can over-describe by talking. The idea is to see what you can do the most. I would recommend as a parent that you think about which one you struggle with the most, observing, describing, and participating. Hint, it's usually participating. And I would try to just do very little things. For example, in the morning I take my daughter to school. When I take my daughter to school, I try to sit in the car, and the drive from my house to my daughter's school is 4 minutes. It's a 4-minute drive. During that drive, I try to 100% be engaging with my daughter in a conversation. That's pretty good. 4 minutes of completely present in the conversation. I work at it every day, and I hope you do too. Anyway, this concludes this skill building on participating. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you at the next video. Thanks, bye.